Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Listen to me. Craig, like I said, charismatic dude, talk a lot, all this and that, right? Ain't paying no attention. Been out of penitentiary less than a year. And now he got him a spot, he got him a gal, he's doing all this, he got him a job. It looks like a job, but he's faking the funk. You feel what I'm saying? Paying the people so he ain't got to show up, all this and that, and his PO don't know. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, guess what happened? Police got some controlled buys in his spot. They bumped down on him. But see, police is always looking to make a deal. Always looking to make a deal. You understand? And they know Craig, fresh out the joint. He seasoned. He know how the business go. Is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Guess what? He played the game. They said, you got to give us something. Who you get this from? Where you getting this from? And see, let me tell you something. See, Dom is not telling him everything. It wasn't just that he didn't trust his pop. It was like, what's the point in him knowing who he gets it from? It's not necessary that Craig know that. So he just gets what he needs and he gives it to him, and that's the end of it. You feel me? So let me tell you something. Craig, like I say, he's staying with the gal in the spot, right? But he spent a couple of days with Dom and Kayla at their house. And while he's there, he done made a deal with the police. Look, give us somebody, and then you ain't got to worry about it. We won't violate you. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff will go away. So he's over at Dom's and they're eating and all this. And he said, I need to talk to you, son. Dom said, what's up, Pops? What's going on, right? This is after they've eaten, right? You know, they sitting out on the porch, you know what I'm saying, chilling, drinking a beer, nice old cold brewski. They standing out there, and Craig said, look, and I need to talk to the plug myself. I need to establish my own thing, right? So I ain't got to just keep going through you, because every time I got to go through you, it slows me down a little bit. I just need to know who I can holler at myself. First, Dom wasn't thinking about it like that. And then he said, he wasn't thinking in the sense that something fishy is going on. Let me put it that way. So he tells me, he said, look, let me holler at my guy, and I'll see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm sure it'll be no problem, and y'all work that out, and then y'all do what you do. That way, I ain't got to keep dealing with it either, and that's cool with me. So Craig tell him, okay, how long is it going to take? He said, no, I know by tomorrow what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? How it's going to play out. And then I'll let you know, and then I'll introduce y'all, and then we'll go from there, right? Craig said, that's cool. That's what's up. So he tell him, look here, you have a good night, son. Then he got on down and went back to his crib where he stayed with Gal, right? But the whole time he's at the house, he's thinking, okay, if I give up the plug, I'm going to hurt my son. But see, that shiesty side came out, and he said, well, we can always find another plug. I ain't going to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, his goal is to stay out of penitentiary. So the next day, Dom, on his way home, he stopped by his pop's little spot and tell him, he said, look, my guy said, no, just keep getting it for me for now. You know what I'm saying? He don't really feel like meeting nobody else and all this and that. Craig got a little upset by that. He said, what do you think, I'm the police or something? Dom is telling him, no, hold up, Pops. That ain't what he's saying. He's like, look, we just gonna leave it like that, right? Dude got too much going on. He ain't got time to be meeting no new people, not right now. Here's what he said, just chill, you can still get it. It ain't like you getting cut off, right? But see, his pops kept overplaying his hand. And let me tell you something about being in the penitentiary. It make you sharp. It make you sharp in the penitentiary. And it'll make you sharp on the streets to an extent. But if you ain't been on the streets in a while, I believe you get dull. Listen to me now. I believe you get dull to the way things are done on the streets. So you can miss signs, right? And one of those things that Craig missed was when to shut your mouth. Because by him kept pushing and throwing all this stuff up in the air, Don that's been in the streets for a little while now, he got suspicious. He said, hold up, Pop. He said, there's something going on that I need to know about? Because he was acting too aggressive and too offended by something and somebody that he didn't even know. It wasn't like he wasn't getting what he needed. So he was like, nah, I'm good. I just don't appreciate, you know what I'm saying, your guy not wanting to meet me. I'm a solid dude. I've been locked up. All of these types of things that a lot of people in the streets think that means something. Craig using all of them. And none of it is working on Dom. You know what I'm saying? Dom don't respond like it. So he said him, look, he said, man, I'll holler back at him again, but you just keep doing what you're doing now. Whatever you need. Excuse excuse me, whatever you need, go through me. And I got you. And his pops tells him, okay, that's what's up. We'll continue to do it like that, right? So when Dom goes home, he talking to Kayla. He telling Kayla what just went down, right? And her spidey senses went off. Let me tell y'all something. Trust your woman, man. Trust your woman. Especially if you got one, you know what I'm saying, a good woman. You know if you got a good woman or a shyster woman. Listen to me, y'all. Trust your woman. Kayla says something ain't right. Something is off. Why would he be tripping like that? He getting what he want, plus he getting it at the price you getting it for. See, Craig didn't know all that. But see, Kayla did. Kayla about her dude. You feel me? So she looking at Dom, and Dom starting to think about, because he trusts his guy. And he was like, yeah, something is not making sense to me about this. He said, Pops was just too upset by it. So he made a call. You know how the police got informants on the streets? Dope boys do too. They got people to let them know what's going on. Because a lot of times as a dope boy, you get too busy about what's going on and you don't hear about everything when it happens. You might hear about it later on and be like, oh, okay. Because a lot of times it's outside of the circle that you're dealing with. But it's always good to know what's going on. Because when you know what's going on, especially when the police is involved in something, you can protect yourself when you're in the streets. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not giving any advice on any of that right now because, you know, I don't condone the lifestyle at all no more. I'm just saying. But here's the thing. When he called one of his guys that's in the streets, he told him, he said, yeah, man, your police was at your pop's place a couple of days ago. Had him all in the car and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? They let him out, though. Evidently, they didn't catch nothing. That's what Dom's partner is telling him. See, but Dom thinking, okay, the day that my pops got visited by the police, now he want to come by the house and have dinner. He ain't been doing that. Strike one. Red flags just going off all over the place, right? And then he want to know who the plug is. Strike two. Red flags is going off all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Red alert. You know what I'm saying? Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, right? So here we go. Listen to me. Listen to me now, y'all, because this is important. Dom has to figure out what he's going to do because he think his daddy is trying to tell something. So, listen to me. He calls his mother. Because his mother, she tried to warn him. He calls his mother. He said, look, you think Pops will tell something? She looked at him. She said, what done happened? And Dom tells her what happened, and then she runs down some things that happened back in the past. She said there was a lot of suspicious things going on when your dad was running around here stealing lawnmowers and all this old yard equipment and stuff like that. And then he would always get these small sentences, not these big sentences. But she said, I know for a fact that a lot of the stuff he was doing, you're supposed to get more time. He never got time beyond whatever those minimums was. She said, and I was always suspicious about it. I was glad for him, but I was suspicious about it. And a lot of people that's in the age group that his mom is and what Craig is, they were saying that he was telling something. But it was never a situation where he testified on the stand. See, a lot of people want to go by, where your paperwork at? See, they want to see something with some ink on it. But the police ain't stupid. All situations don't call for you to have to go to court. They just want to make the bus, and then they put the squeeze on the person that they go get so that they'll plead out, and then they ain't got to put it on trial or nothing like that. There ain't going to be no paperwork. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? So Dom is listening to his mom run it down like that. So goes back home, chilling, telling Kayla what he just heard and all this and that. She said, all you can do really now is continue to play it by ear. You don't want to piss him off because he might do something to hurt you. And if he does something to hurt you, he's doing something to hurt us. We got plans. And besides, Dom he's about ready to make his exit move. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? About ready to make his exit move. Here we go. The next couple of days, Craig is getting more and more aggressive, right? Because the police are getting more and more aggressive with him. They tell him, like, look, you get us something or get ready to go to jail. And if he goes to jail, that means he goes back to prison. Because when you on parole, any contact that you have with the police, you got to tell them folks. They're not playing. But guess what? Let me tell you something now. Listen to me. The police done already talked to his PO. PO, no. P.O. no. See, they're going to put him in that 52 fake out, make him tell something because they're going to force him to play ball. He's not finna get away. He's not finna get away. P.O. pulls him in, down there talking to him, and tells him that, they've been made aware of the situation. And if he made good on the situation, that the police were asking him that, they were going to give him another shot. That motivated Craig. Now, he's at the house. He's got to make a decision. He goes by Dom, his son, and Kayla's house, and he's talking to him. And Dom said, man, is there anything you need to tell me? He's trying to give his pops a chance, man, to come clean. It ain't like Dom's going to give him somebody, though. That ain't how he's cut. But he wants his pops to be honest with him. He wants that relationship with his pops. He's extending that olive branch as best as you can in the streets. Ain't finna be no snitching, but pops, do they got you, man, over a barrel? We can go to court, we can fight it, man, but tell me. Craig looked at him and said, man, ain't nothing going on, man. But he's offended. Listen to this now. He gets offended that his son would accuse him of being a snitch. See, that's that crazy mindset that you have in the penitentiary. Somebody get you dead to right. You get mad because they got you dead to right. See, that's how a lot of people in here, they don't want to accept responsibility. They get mad because they got caught, not because of what they did. You understand? And they want everybody to look at them like they've been victimized. Grow up, y'all. You hear me? Grow up now. Ain't no game in this thing. These folks playing for keeps. So by him being angry and upset, now Dom, this is how the game gets twisted. Dom, in his mind, he don't see Dom as his son, as somebody that he needs to protect. Dom just became psychologically, mentally, another dude in the streets, man. Another dude in the streets. And he needs somebody to give to these folks. And he goes and he tells him, he said, look, I'm getting it from my son. I'm getting it from my son. So the police look at him. They got a job to do, y'all. They said, man, I hate that, but it's either you or your son. Which one? Craig looked at him. He said, man, playing the role like he's hurting and agonizing over, right? Putting his head down, crying, tears, all this and that, because he wants the police to feel sympathy for him, and maybe they'll back off of it. Maybe they'll give him time to find somebody else. But they don't. He shot his shot, it didn't work. They said, look, you're going to have to wear a wire. And again, he's playing the role like he's the reluctant informant. He don't really want to do it. But he said, come on, man, let's get it over with. He said, man, I just can't testify. He said, the police tell him, if you won't have to if he pleads guilty. You won't have to. So he goes through the rigmarole, to try to make sure that, things are well set up, well planned, well thought out. So he calls Craig and he tells Craig, I need another hookup. Craig tells him, I'll be at your pops. See, because Dom is not imagining that his dad, Craig, would set him up. Yeah, somebody else, yeah, but not him. He's been there for his dad in ways that, hey man, when you're in the penitentiary, being able to call somebody, being able to have somebody to put some money on your books, being able to have somebody that you can vent to, that's a lot. And Dom was that dude. He's the son. He wouldn't do this to him. That's what he's thinking. But when Dom goes by the house and drops off, the police sitting outside taking pictures. Craig wired up, listening. They listening to the conversation. They got it. And when he leaves, they let him leave. Because Craig begged him, please don't do it right now. Don't do it right now. So they said, we'll give him a couple of days and then we'll go get him. So a couple of days go by. And they catch Dom coming from his spot, heading home. Head him off, one in the front, one in the back. Tell him you under arrest. He said, for what? They ain't catching with nothing. He ain't got nothing. They looked at him and said, you know why. And the only thing that flashed up in his mind was his pops. couple of days ago, he was acting funny. He was acting funny. But see, Dom wasn't as crushed as you would think. He knew one day he would end up getting in trouble, so he had a lot of money put up ready for this particular time because he didn't want his dreams to be deferred by the game. The game has certain things that are going to happen. You better anticipate them. And that is getting arrested, going to jail, maybe going to prison. So he felt like, look, he ain't been in no real trouble. He'll be able to go to the county jail, do a little bit, and get out, go on with his life. That's what he thought. But see, when they got him down at the jail, they wanted to know, do you want to talk? Do you want to cooperate? And he kept asking them. He said, how did y'all get me? They would never tell him. They would never tell him. He said, well, I'll get the evidence, you know what I'm saying, when I get my lawyer, see what's going on. And they advised him, you need to plead out. And if you want to know how this goes, you're going to have to tune in to the next episode. I'm telling y'all, stay tuned. It gets better. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.